Yeah. Right, we're back. We didn't get the rubber on the roof yesterday because there was a hole in the rubber when we rolled it out. So me and John are going to shoot off and get some of that in a minute. Jen, Brad and David are going to finish insulating this building. Not going to do the back wall till we get back, so I want to show you the quickest way of putting the noggins in on a level line and getting your insulation in as well. We fit 100mm PIR in the floor, 50mm PIR in the walls and 100mm in the ceiling. You can see that bay that John's cut out there. We use a hybrid roof solution which works under low occupancy. Never had a problem with it. You can see what John's done there. John's already first fixed his electrics. You can see he's run his cables there. He's also put a cross on the ceiling where the spotlight will go, so that will go there. So on this occasion, the spotlight goes there.
I just want to fix it in.
Fix it in then. So what he's done, just stand there, David, so you can fix it in. What he's done is he's put his insulation up, he's marked a square out, he's cut a square out for the light void there. And what he's going to do now, he's just going to put a bit of insulation just on the side of that timber, just so we can insulate that light well as best as possible. But you can see the insulation is pushed tight up to the ceiling. Now that prevents any condensation building up above the insulation in a low occupancy room, which this is, and it works. We've had somebody did a report and it proved that it works. There is no risk of mould build up. So if I show you what they do there, the light cables obviously run tight to the ceiling, so what they'll do on the insulation, they'll cut a strip out like that. And then what will happen then, let's imagine that's a full piece of insulation. Where's the cable? There, that will go up there. Can you see that now, Davey? Yeah, so the cable will be trapped up there and there'll be very little air. So no air up there, so it's not going to condensate. And it does work, whether you go down this route or a cold roof or a warm roof, that is entirely up to you. So there's a couple of things I want to address as well. Right, if you're watching these, we've done these for ages now, absolutely ages, right. If you think about when somebody's making a film, right, so you'll have a director and he'll ask people to do certain things at certain times. That is literally what is happening. If we don't film, then everybody does their own thing. But when we are filming, right, everybody waits until they're asked to do what they do, so that you, the people who are watching, can understand what's actually happening. Yeah, I'm not telling everybody what to do. They know what they need to do, right? It's just a matter of fact that we're trying to film it, trying to show you exactly every single step of the way, every single process, and that is the way it works. If I'm not here, everybody carries on. If John's not here, everybody carries on. Yeah? And I don't mean carry on like screaming, shouting, running around. They carry on doing what they do. They do their jobs that they're paid to do and that they're more than competent enough to do. So that's one issue I want to address. Second issue is, yeah, I have put on a bit of weight. I don't need to be told about that either. It does hurt when you mention things like that. It's fine if John says I'm fat, but when somebody calls me fat on the internet, that's not very nice. What was the third one? There was something else. Oh, Jen's knees. I've asked her about knee pads before. John knows the deal. John wears knee pads. He wears them. Yeah, that's proven there. They all work on a CIS basis, which means they're self-employed. It's entirely up to them what they do. As far as glasses are concerned, I stress that they have to wear them. I'm not their mother or their father, I'm not their babysitter, but we do try and enforce health and safety as much as we can. Jen's knees will no doubt give her grief later on in the years, but she's been asked to do it. She's not really bothered, so there you go. That's her decision. Right, so that's it. That's your roof, that's your PIR. Me and John are going to get the rubber now. Oh, and this as well. You might have seen these advertised on Amazon and Facebook and stuff like that. It's generally, I don't know if it's Chinese or Japanese, the fella that's doing it, but he wears these and they don't fog up, and I've already broke it. They don't fog up.
Does it just push through?
I don't know, I can't see it, John. Fix me that, Jen. They don't. Sorry, John. They don't fog up, but they offer no air filtration whatsoever. Yeah. So Jen's now fixed the strap. So this is advertised. It's about 20 quid. It costs. Trend do one for nearly £1,000 with its own air supply. It offers no filtration whatsoever. But the worst thing about this insulation is it going in your eyes. In my opinion, so. It's fogging up a bit, isn't it?
You'd have to try it sometimes when your forehead's got a bit of sweat on it.
Yeah, but Jen's gonna try that now while we're gone. It also says that it's anti-shatterproof and anti-scratch, so we're gonna fire the PAS load at it while Jen's wearing it later as well. Second time round without. We've been back and we've replaced the rubber. Gap were great. They just swapped it straight over for us. So rubber comes in various sizes. Obviously the length is what you determine, but like you can get it 3 meters, 3.9, 4.5, and I think 6 point something. Generally, if it's bigger than 3, it'll have a crease in because it's been folded over in factory. If it's warm, this crease will come out on a warm day if you just leave it up here for half an hour, even on a warm day. But today it's about 10, 12 degrees at this moment in time, so it ain't going to come out any more than it has. We've let it relax as much as what we want to. So what we're going to do now, I've been round and I've cut it about 4, 5 inches, 6 inches, whatever, all the way around the building. The weight of the rubber itself now will stop it from moving, so you can guarantee that if you roll this out now, then that other half won't move. And there's muck there, look, just come off your boots. And then when we roll it back, it will be where we want it to be rather than it be short, because it's so heavy it's just sat over there. So what we're going to do, we're going to just roll it up like a carpet. Probably get about halfway, Jen, yeah. That'll do us there. And then we're going to start to bond it down. Right, we've talked about this loads and loads of times. The seller contacted adhesive for around the perimeter. Several reps have told me now you don't actually need it on a roof like this because it's got no abutments, it's got no butts up to, no square walls to, no little walls to butt up to, anything like that. It's literally one wall. So this is the way we do it. My friend Jimmy Mitre will disagree with me, but to be fair, if you need to know anything about rubber roofing and you're on Facebook group, speak to Jimmy Mitre because he knows a lot more than anybody else on there. Right, it's a water-based adhesive. You're literally going to apply it with an emulsion roller. You need to like soak the roller in it first, get it going. And what I'll do, I'm just going to run down a strip, maybe a roller and a half, maybe 2 rollers wide, and then what Jen will do with that soft bristle brush, she'll brush the rubber onto it, which will then hopefully, well not hopefully, but will bond it down to the roof. Right, I know a lot you're going to say, get yourself a paint roller stick. It's just another thing that I don't need to be carrying around. It's half an hour out of my day, once every couple of weeks. It's not the end of the world. And surely it's a little bit better for my health, Jen, no? A little bit of exercise, be a fat man sweating. Right, so I'm going to go along. What you want to do is make sure this does not go on your fascia. Wonder wipes or not, it ain't coming off. It's going to mark it and it's going to look a dog. So when I get towards the end, I'm then going to put the roller sideways so I don't risk falling over the end with the roller or myself. You can see how much I put on there. The liberal coating of it. When I get to the end, look, I'm just going to go like that. Yeah. Jen's going to roll it a little bit, making sure that I can still see where I've glued up to, so that we're good to go again. David, will you try and keep my fat ass out of the picture if you can, mate? I'm fine. Jen's is alright. So, I'm just going to keep applying this. Jen's going to keep brushing it. She's giving a lot of power on that brush because she wants to expel any air bubbles that have been trapped in there and try and get out any factory creases. You're not going to get them all out. It's an impossibility sometimes. I've tried using a heat gun, but the heat's too localised and it actually stretches the rubber where you're trying to heat it. Put a heat gun, put blower on there, stop it blowing up, David. You'll often find weather will be absolutely great. The minute you start doing roof, you get all kinds of weather. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep rolling that now to the other end, and Jen's going to follow behind in her socks. I don't know why she took her boots off. Why you took boots off? It does actually leave your footprints in it, but apart from being aesthetically unpleasing to Jen's eye, it doesn't actually cause an issue. We're going to jump back in as soon as we've done this roof. I'm going to show you noggins and insulation and address another matter somebody pulled me on that I've just remembered. So you would be advised on the instructions to do 100mm contact adhesive all the way around. It's messy, it's a pain in the arse, you get a bubble in that, it ain't coming out. If you think about it, this full roof, whether it expands or whether it shrinks, it's going to do it in one, because we've glued it all together and we've fixed it all down. So the full roof will move as one. So in my opinion, there is no need for the contact adhesive. And then make sure all these little nail holes have got glue in. We don't want no little voids. Right, so that's the half bonded down. We're going to give it another rub in a minute once we've got this one down, but Jen, put your brush over there, please. What we're going to do now is roll this side of the roof back now. We'll roll it back until we come to the joint, not the joint, the part where we started. We should be there shortly now. There, we're there now. Right, Jen, just come here. Just hold that mic there, just so we can try and hear this. So you should be able to hear the bond already. Did you hear that? Yeah. Right, so it started to bond already there. You can see I pulled it back about 2 inches. What I'm going to do now is reapply that line there, and then we'll do exactly the same as we did on the other side. What Jen will do then is she'll then rub that down back onto the part that was already just previously bonded. Come summertime, that literally pulls it up and it actually pulls the fibres off the deck. So you've got to be quite quick. That is when I sweat. If you're thinking about doing these yourself and you're not sure if you've got the talent or the ability or even the tools, I'm telling you now, you definitely can. There's loads of people on our self-build group that have built these and they're absolutely brilliant standard, to the point where sometimes I've got to double look at the photograph and make sure it's one of ours. Now, it's testament to the fact that good instruction leads to a good build. Right, you see what she's done now? She's rolled that back over. She's now going to try and brush them creases out. You can see that centre crease, the factory crease. It's near on impossible at this time of year to get rid of that. So what happens is it's not cold enough for the rubber to stretch and relax back out. Not hot enough, sorry, even for the rubber to stretch back out. It would be nice to get this out of this pot, wouldn't it? Obviously, because we do this on a regular basis, we have glue left over from the last job, and just try to get rid of this full tin before we open another one. What John will do on this one, he'll show you, because I know a lot of people are interested in the Cat 6, the full connection. We'll show you the route it's run. He'll show you how to connect the, is it RG45s? John, are they RG45s? Yeah, he'll show you how to connect an RG45. He'll show you the tool involved. He'll show you the tool to check if it's even connected properly. And he'll also show you how to set up the router. Do you set up to an access point, John? Yeah, he'll show you how to set up to an access point as well, so that you've got the same internet speed in your garden room as you have in your house. I'm going to organise another big raffle very shortly. I just can't decide what I'm going to raffle off yet. We will do a garden room eventually. It's just the logistics of it at this moment in time are a little bit of a pain. I know a lot of you are on the groups, you don't have a garden room, but you like one. And for £2, it's a no-brainer. Okay, right, so what Jen's going to do now, she's going to get rid of all the bubbles. See, she's pushing them out with the brush, put a lot of weight on it. It's a bit of a technique to doing it. She's trying to not drive with her feet because she'll leave like more bubbles in basically with the back of her feet rather. She'll go around now, get the vast majority out, but like I say, factory crease, it ain't coming out this time of year, that's for sure. So I've done well there. I've used that pot of glue that I wanted to get rid of, so that's good. It's really sticky stuff. It looks like PVA, but it's got a consistency of like bicycle repair glue for punctures. Right, so when she's happy with that, everybody will else get down. If you're doing this and you've got a nice drive, double bag that, because if it goes on your drive it ain't coming off. That's my bit of advice to you for the tip of today. What we'll do then, because it's quite cold today, and I'll talk about the two-part gutter trim with the potential of it splitting. We'll get the little heat gun, and Jen will go around with the heat gun as I tap it in, basically. But I'll show you that happening as well. Right, it's bonded down now. You can see the edge of the roof, which is there. Look, yeah. So I think, as far as I remember now, the manufacturers recommend 50mm on your overhang. If you pull it tight like that, you can see the line of the overhang. But what you need to be careful of is that you don't score your fascia, because what's going to happen now is that P-trim's going to sit over that and mechanically fix that down there. So the P-trim's going to sit over there, mechanically fix it. You've got water-based adhesive which has chemically fixed it, and that will stop any wind uplift. So that, in my mind, does away with contact adhesive. Jimmy might be sat at home having his cup of coffee tonight, rolling his eyes. Don't you walk off that roof? Comedy gold, that. No, I am joking, of course. Jimmy Mitre does actually know all there is to know about rubber roofing. And like I said before, if you've got a question, he is the man to answer it for you. Right, so 50mm, same on the front. Thereabouts, you know what I mean? You're not going to get a tape measure and start measuring it, that's for sure. That stuff ain't happening. You can see there. What I want to do is just make sure, you see there, look, you see the factory seam? Yeah, that's a factory seam, so that's hard a cut through. You see like that, look, yeah? Right, what you don't want is that factory seam running left to right on your building. Two reasons: if it ends up in your gutter trim, you ain't getting your gutter trim in, and secondly, it will stop any water from running down. You'll have a pool of water on top of your roof like that. So if you can, you get it running from front to back. So Jen's tested the mask. It didn't work out. We'll talk about it when I get down anyway. It didn't work out, did it, Jen? No. Didn't work out. It steamed up. So what I'm going to do, I am going to try and find the advertisement video, and I'm going to edit it into it a little bit. I don't know if I'll get into trouble for that, will I? Don't know. Maybe I will I? But it doesn't work. It does not work. That's why I can't get no sponsorship off nobody. Because if it doesn't work, I'll tell you it doesn't work. That's a pile of crap. But as to firing a nail through it with Jen wearing it, I don't know. Are you up for that now, Jen? Yeah. Now that it steams up, it's failed level 1 of the test. Right, so we're getting round to the back now. Now the back is different. The back is important. Out of any of your edges, the back is super important, and I'm going to show you how to cut it, where to cut it, that will give you enough rubber to tuck in your two-part gutter trim. And if you're watching from Firestone, you know how big your thing's up. Come on, send me a bit of free stuff. Don't walk off that roof. Even if it's just a couple of t-shirts. Jen would like a t-shirt. She's a size small. Are you small, Jen? She's a small. Quite a few people after a bottle of gas at winter time.
I should have put the prices.
We're thinking now a fiver were too cheap. Right. Let me see how I can show you this. Let me start it off first, Jen, and then I should be able to show you. let me get a few inches, and then you can possibly get behind me. Yeah, sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. Let me get to where you are. Right, you come to the side of me now. Right, so you want about 2 inches, 50mm all the way around front, top. It's probably the same for the back, but can you see that groove in there? Can you see it?
Yeah.
That groove. Is my blade in groove?
Oh, looks it blurred out. Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's picking up my finger. So my blade's in groove, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, am I blocking the screen?
No.
Right, so I'm pulling it down. Is it still in groove?
No, you're blocking the screen. Let me come up.
Wait, because I keep falling out. Right, I'm in it now, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, can you see, look? I'm using the groove as a guide to cut my rubber. And if you follow that, then you will have enough rubber to get in your 2-part gutter trim the way it should be. I'm just pulling it, a little bit of tension there, look, yeah? But not pulling my knife out of the groove. Not pressing hard either, yeah? So I'm not damaging the trim. I'm literally just using it as a guide. You can see John down there doing his first fix electrics. All right, John? Yeah. So as I said, John is going to show you how to do a Cat 6 from start to finish. He's going to talk about speeds. He's going to talk about the modem, aren't you, John? 100%. He can't wait for it. He's absolutely really excited about it. He's gagging for it. And he's gagged a few times before, I've seen him. Right, okay. So that will enable now for us to put our second part of our 2-part, can you see it?
Yeah.
Our 2-part gutter trim into there. That will trap that. It will click in there, and the job will be a good one. Right, 2-part gutter trim. That is the second part of the 2-part gutter trim. That piece there tucks that rubber up into that gap there, and that piece there with a little arrow on it clicks into that piece there. Now, the downside to this is when it's cold, or certainly what we're probably about, it's warmed up a little bit today, but what Jen's going to do now, because sometimes that'll split off, she's just going to put some localised heat onto this just to warm it, just to make it a little bit softer, and then see if we can get away without breaking it. Because sometimes it does break. Now, I know some of you struggle to get in. I know that silicone spray works, and I also know that furniture polish works. It just helps it to slide in. Bit of lube as it were. Right, it requires a little bit of strength, bit of an upward motion. Right, Jen, wait till I get this bit in here. I'm going to get that so it's the right end there. Can you see how I've tucked the rubber up, Davey? Yeah. Right, don't worry about that hanging down, Jen. I can't do it myself. I can't do it then, can I? Right, I've forced it up. Can you see that bit there? Look how it's forced it up. Yeah. Right, Jen, watch my fingers and see if you can get a little bit of heat on there. Let's see if we can get going. At the end, you want to start at the end? You go out and fall? Right, you need to do it all the way along. You keep doing it. You stay ahead of me. Keep it nice and warm, yeah? No, you need to be back where you were. Look, it'll cool down really quick. Yeah? Is it going in, Debbie?
Yeah.
Like I say, I've had a couple snap before. Just watch my fingers, be aware of them, won't you, Jen?
Yeah.
That's it. Might be a little bit too much, that, Jen. Don't forget the bit she ain't done. So I'm just forcing that up into there. Has it gone in, Debbie?
Yeah.
The hardest bit is on the factory seam, which I've just got to there. Might be a little bit too much, Jen. What's going on there?
Where?
There. Is that a joint?
Yeah.
Gone in? Right, so what I've done with this, I am right-handed and I would always start from this side, but yesterday I put the 2-part gutter trim on from the other way because Jen was still cutting. Right, that's gone in nice and successfully. It hasn't split. Yeah, that's the way we want it. So a little bit of localised heat just going around is going to stop it from splitting and aid it going in properly as well. Right, so what we'll do now, we'll carry on, get all the way to the end, and then we'll go on the P-trims. Right, the 2-part gutter trim's on now. We're going to put the P-trim on, so-called because, fold it that way, it looks like a P. Can also be called curb trim as well. Right, it's fixed with the big poly tops, either 50 or 60mm, whichever you've gone for. They're stainless steel. Right, there's an elongated hole in the P-trim. What'll happen is the pin will go through there. You won't drive the pin all the way home. You'll leave it a couple of mil out, and then when the sun gets on the P-trim and expands it, it can move left and right. So that pin is designed to go in the centre of that elongated hole. Although, even though you do that and you don't drive it all the way home, often it will buckle in the heat, and there's just not a lot you can do about that. When I get over there, Davey, I'll show you one going in that's not quite drove home, all right? So, these P-trims come in 2.5 and they also come in 3.5. This roof is over 6 metres long, so what we've done, we've divided the roof by 2 so that we've got our joint in the middle, or thereabouts anyway. Visually, it wants to look right, doesn't it? Yeah. So, mechanically, that is now holding the rubber down and stopping any wind uplift. Doing away with the need for contact adhesive. Spitting. It's going to rain, isn't it? It always tends to rain when we do a roof. Right, can you get close up there, David? Look, yeah? Right. That's all I'm going to fit it, look, yeah? It's not fit all the way in, so that will allow it to move. Right, you've got a P-trim jointing strip. Looks like that. Clips on there. That allows expansion, so if I put that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that one tight on there, and then when I put this next one in, I'm just going to sit it at about 10mm in, so there's still expansion on there. Once I've got that in there now, I can then give Jen a measurement, and she'll cut the next one for me. See, I haven't drove that all the way home, yeah? Like I say, 3.5 or 2.5, we tend to get 3.5, less joints. Right, Jen, 3,195, please. Right, so just cut that to length. So what I'm going to do, can you see now? Can you see the rubber there? Yeah. So I'm just going to sit like that, look, and then push the rubber down like that so it traps it. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to offer that into there. Yeah, a little bit, and then I'm going to go to this end and get it to the position I want. And if Jen's cut it right, which she has, I know then that I'm only about approximately 5mm in there. So again, looking for the hole, centre of the hole. Not drive it all the way home. But like I say, sometimes they buckle, sometimes they don't. It's really bizarre. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do that on the sides as well. It will require a joint strip on the side, but because they're 3.5 and the roof is just over 3.5, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Jen to cut the first one about 500 short, so that I'm not putting a little diddy bit in on the end, because it don't look very attractive. And we've already bought an extra one so we can use it, so rather than put a little piece in, we're going to go the full hog. Jen's obviously just listened to me and is going for it. Right, you can see there now, so Jen's cut a section off there at about 500, simply because I don't want to just put a little diddy bit on the end. So let's have a look, where are we there? There's this hole. I'm going to get that in there. Again, not sunk it all the way. And then what I'm going to do then is show you the corner cap detail. So there's a, when I clean it off, there's a formed corner that just sits over the top there, like that, and tidies all that up. But that wants pinning to that as well, so what we tend to do rather than have a load of drill bits is again just cut the head off a big poly top and use that as a drill bit, just to drill through there. I'll show you that side, Davey, once I get round there, mate. I'm just going to drill through the corner and through the P-trim, because I know from experience it can shatter the P-trim. At least it's been nothing but a burden since I started. And then again on the end, Jen's going to cut that little piece on the end. And we'll put a corner on there, but we can only fix through this side because otherwise we're going into the gutter trim. Again, a little bit of expansion on there. So this one here now, I can only physically fix it through there. And I'm only going to put one pin in it. The thing is with these, you can silicone them on. When it moves, then they move and they don't look square. You can pin them on. When they move, they don't look square. So there's not a lot you can do. It's just the finish of it is. So that's it. That's your full roof. You've got your soffit there. You've got your fascia. You've got your P-trim. You've got all your corners. You've got your two-part gutter trim. What'll happen now, that rain will go like that. It'll hit there. It'll drive down there. And it will then drop into the gutter there. And you've got your one-piece rubber membrane, excluding the hole we had yesterday. So that's your roof finished. So we'll jump back inside now and we'll talk about a bit of insulation and noggins. Yeah. Right. Insulation. We use cavity bats. They're for putting cavities when you're building extensions. They are 450 wide. The reason why we don't use a full sheet, which would be cheaper, is these are a lot more manageable, a lot more easier to cut, and a lot less wastage than the 100 sheets. So they are 450. So what we tend to do, we'll drop a 450 cut in there, we'll drop another 450 cut in there, and then we'll put a row of noggins in, which enables us to put a full row of noggins in, nice and straight and nice and fast as well. So Jen's going to cut them. I'm going to shout them to Jen. So basically, all I'm going to do is just tap it down just till it meets the insulation. And then fix it. And then I'll work along like that. Can I have 362, please, Jen? 357, and it's as easy as that. And then as long as you tap it down to your insulation, keep it back nice and tight, and you'll be good. And it's nice and easy, and it's also got the benefit of, if you cut one, and I'll show you now. I'm going to get Jen to cut this one small just to show you. 365, please, Jen. So you cut it and it's a bit small, like that, then your insulation will hold it. So it's not the end of the world. So I'm going to go along there. I'm going to fix all them, and then we're going to talk about plasterboard carriers. Yeah. Right, so I've put a row of noggins in there. Now what they're going to do, they're going to go down and insulate. Right, the next thing we need, right, is plasterboard carriers. So this wall here, we can plasterboard successfully. Yeah, we can get a fixing up there. But here, the plasterboard is just going to flap around. So as luck would have it, I have a piece that's already cut. I've lost my hammer though. It's all right, David, all right. As luck would have it, I have a piece, and bizarrely enough, that is exactly the right thickness with 50mm insulation to sit exactly in that gap. Now, we do not nail them. The simple reason why we don't nail them is it punches the wood back sometimes, so we will always screw them, which will pull that wood tight to the other frame and give us a good fixing for our plasterboard. So you can see there now, I can plasterboard successfully there, I can fix it nice to that, and I can plasterboard successfully there and fix it nice to that as well. So we'll pop a little one in there, we'll go around and we'll do the rest. I'm going to come to an end with this now. So you see they've insulated the ceiling, they've been round with the expanding foam, they have also got in all the gaps where they need to, pushing the cables up. We've put some rock wool in there to tidy that up there, because obviously you've got a little gap there, we don't want no air coming out there. And Davey has put rock wool in the soffit as well,
on the overhang. It's just literally above the wall. So everything is insulated. You can see Johnny's putting his plasterboard carriers down there as well. We have got pattresses in for the wall. Pattress basically is a piece of timber behind the plasterboard which will allow us to fix a TV heater and we'll get a good fixing. You can also see they've put a pattress down there for the heater as well. What else is there to show you? Right, Jen, there's a pattress over there for consumer unit as well. This part in here is a store cupboard. The reason why these noggins are higher is because we can't get the full boards in. So we'll be using OSB on the side and that will allow us to fix the joints. As far as the mask, the £20 mask is concerned that I bought, Jen tried it out and it failed with the condensation test, didn't it, Jen? Yeah. John, do you want to watch out where? We're now going to try it with the nail test.
Put it on?
Yeah, go for it. Let's see if I can hit it first time. Everybody stay that way in case it bounces back, yeah? Do you know what? It took it and it damaged it. That's unbelievable.
Slow motion.
Right, so although it fails the mist test, it's good for the impact test. Jen, do you want to put it on and we'll try and fire it? You kind of do?
Yeah.
Don't be silly. Later.
It's one of them scratched and one of them went all.
How do you know I did?
Because I've seen it.
Oh, you seen it in me? Oh.
I've got it right in my eye as well.
So, can you see it?
Yeah.
Right, so you see there, look. It's got it in the eye, but it hasn't. Let's see if it's actually scratched it. I can't.
Use your nail.
Yeah, there's a really little scratch on it. So unfortunately, if it had passed the fog test, it'd have been a good buy, wouldn't it, for £20? Yeah. Obviously no filtration, but that's that. What else do I want to show you? Oh, the last thing I want to explain to you and all is, like I said earlier on, we've done loads of these videos. Can I have a circular saw, please, Jim? We've done loads of these videos, and every so often you get somebody who isn't clued up to what we're doing and doesn't really get the whole thing about it. Right, so somebody suggested, John, do you just want to just wait a minute, mate? Brad, just want to wait a minute. Right, so someone suggested that I love the sound of my own voice. Right, it's not the I know, it's not the silent movies, right? If I don't talk, you don't know what I'm doing. So I want to do this twice, one without speech and one with speech, yeah? And then walk away, right? What the fuck have I done? I don't know, right? Second one. Pencil, Jen, please. I know you give me it. I've lost it already. Thank you. Right, it's a speed square, roofing square, yeah? I'm going to hold it on there, right? So first of all, I'll take my measurement. Let's say my measurement is there, yeah? I'm going to get my speed square. I'm going to move it. David, get round there, mate. Can you see where the blade is, look, yeah? So I'm going to move the speed square so that the blade is just on the line. And I'm going to push it through. And that has enabled me to give that a square cut at the length I wanted. Now, which do you prefer? The one where I don't talk or the one where I do talk? Yeah? I don't love the sound of my own voice. Every so often you get a troll. And that's my answer to you, anyway. Right, so that's the end of today. Having an early one again because one of the vans has gone in for repair, so I have to go get that. So what we're going to do tomorrow, we'll get vapour barrier fully on this room, ceiling, walls. I'll show you that going on, and then we'll plasterboard it and we'll cut out for these lights, make sure they're in the right place tomorrow. We'll also continue with this first fix electrics and get the back boxes in. We're going to use plasterboard back boxes. You can see there we're ready to go with that, so we'll crack on with that tomorrow. This is going to get OSB'd on the inside of this storeroom here. That's the general finish, what we put on there, and this will be plasterboard finished, of course. All right, it's well on the way now. Doors and windows will be here next week, I think, so, and this is cedar clad as well, so I'll be able to show you a bit of cedar clad going on as well. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see, and if you want to leave a comment, I will try and answer. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, depending if I come across it or if I have time as well. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.